Hey everybody, how you doing? This is part 2 of our series on marketing automation from 10,000 feet. If you haven't seen part 1, I recommend you go watch that now. So it will give you the necessary background for us to go into tags, which we're discussing now. So tags are basically labels. And what you'll find is when you're using marketing automation software such as Kit, Drip, ActiveCampaign, any of these type of products, you have the ability to use tags. And tags, you can think of them as labels. For example, if you have a contact form and someone submits it, and we're going to say Kit, but when I say Kit, it could be Drip, it could be any of these. You go to the program and you can say, all right, I want to see a list of all the people who submitted this contact form. All right. Or you can say, I want to see the list of all the people who submitted this ebook form, or the people who clicked a link. Where tags become really helpful is when you want to combine actions or behaviors that people have done to get a more granular view of your users. So for example, let's say we wanted to see all the people who submitted a contact form, but also click the booking link, because those people might be more interested than people who just wait for us to get back to them. Or if you have a lead magnet, a download, and someone clicks the download, we want to see someone submits that form to request the download, but never actually clicks the button to download it. We want to know who those people are so we can send them a follow-up or a reminder. And we want to know who the people are who actually clicked it to download it. They want to follow up with them. So what you can think of tags are for is to label behavior. So if somebody clicked a link, somebody submitted a form, we tag them. We can also use tags to track events. For example, if we had sent them a certain email, or if they purchased a product. Or you can use tags for lifecycle statuses. Lead, active lead, former client, hot lead, warm lead, whatever you want to do. It's going to be based on your own system. For example, we use HubSpot for our CRM and for our sales workflow, so we don't actually need tags in our marketing automation software. But years ago, when we didn't have HubSpot and we were using other products, we used our marketing automation software for all of those purposes. So when you think about tags, when you want to decide what tags do I want to have, think about it in reverse. So you want to say to the software, show me a list of the people who, for example, submitted a form, or who clicked a specific link in an email, or who filled out a form, did not download something, purchased a product, active clients, former clients. So let's take a look at some real world examples of where that might make sense. Scenario 1. So you have a contact form on our website. The person fills out the form. They get a thank you page. That's connected to our marketing automation software. And everything below this red line happens on the marketing automation software side. So when I say software side, I do mean the marketing automation software side. So it happens on the software side. Somebody submits the form, and for example, we have a workflow, and that workflow sends an automated email to that person who said, thank you, we'll be in touch, the email, or you can click the link below if you can't wait to book a meeting sooner. So right off the bat, I'm thinking we should really tag the people who submitted that form. So let's come over here and let me find this tag. And obviously you have to think ahead of time. And to think about what tags you want to use. So contact form submitted. And so here we go. So they submitted a form. And so I want to tag this person in our software, contact form submitted. Okay. So now I can see the list of the people who submitted the contact form, which is no better than when I could say to the software, show me a list of people who submitted a list on that form without the tag. But what if we did this? I want to know now who also clicked the booking form. Let's move this over here. Because now what I can do is I can see these people click the booking form. So all of a sudden, now I know I've got two sets of people. We've got people who submitted the contact form, and then we've got people who submitted the contact form and who went ahead and clicked the contact form booking link. So these might be leads, but these over here might be really hot leads or warm leads, because if they're going ahead and booking with you already, they really want to get in touch with you. So you can certainly say, so whereas before, all you could get from the automation software is to say, show me a list of people who submitted the form. That's not nearly as granular as show me who submitted the form and who clicked that contact form booking link. Now let's look at a second example. In our second example, let's think about a lead magnet download. So for our clients, we do let's say we have an Invisalign top 5 questions about Invisalign. You download our ebook. So they fill out the form, they get the thank you, goes to the software, and now we want to know, first of all, who downloaded that ebook or who at least filled out that form. So let's just come over here and bring some of these tags over. And so what I want to do is, so Invisalign ebook form submitted. So everybody here, let's come over here. All right, so they came over here. They submitted the form for the Invisalign ebook. Okay, now we're going to send an email to the person who submitted the form. Thank you so much for for requesting the book. Here's your download. Now, if they download the ebook, I want to label them as Invisalign ebook downloaded. Cool. So now at this point, what do we have? We have a set of people who requested the form to download it. And then we have a bunch of people who may have not downloaded the form. Again, if I said to you, show me the list of the people who submitted the form, it's a very different list than show me the people who submitted the form and actually downloaded the book. And from a sales perspective, you might say, and you'd be right, that, well, the people who downloaded the book are hot leads, and I certainly want to follow up with them. The people who didn't download the book are warmer leads. They're not cold leads, they're warmer leads, right? They know about you, but they didn't download the book. So that urgency for them is not there. But certainly a follow-up with them might be indicated because who knows why they didn't download it. So one of the ways we handle that in our company is we build an automation workflow for that. So if they downloaded the ebook, and again, over here you would have an if they downloaded the book, and that would be whatever software you're using has a way to do if. If they downloaded the book, perfect. Tag them as Invisalign ebook downloaded and send them the bonus email. But if they didn't download the book, let's wait 2 days. You don't see that here. You don't want to send it immediately. Give them 2 days. And if they don't download it, let's send them a reminder email. And then over here, if they downloaded it, awesome. We can tag them with Invisalign ebook downloaded and send them the bonus email. But if they didn't download it, let's send them a second reminder. So we send them a second reminder, and they're either A, going to download it, at which point we tag them with Invisalign book download and the bonus email, or not. You could end the automation here. It doesn't matter. But if after 2, we're probably going to let that go. It's not shown. We would end the automation here. Now, what information do we have, and what can we gather from now having these tags? So here's what we do. So now all of a sudden, we have a different group or multiple different groups of people that we could target with different interests and different levels of aggressiveness, I'll say, to market to them. So let's come over here. And you're going to be, and this is why, again, having these tags is wonderful. Because over here, we've got this. Let me make us some room over here. Okay, good. And then this is going to be over here. Let's line that up nicely. And this is over here. So here are the 4 different groups we have. People who submitted the book, submitted the form, and never downloaded anything. These are people who submitted the form and downloaded it. Awesome. These are people who submitted the form and downloaded it, but it looks like it took them 1 reminder to get that downloaded. So these people here who submitted it and downloaded it right away within 2 days are hot leads. I want to follow up with them now. Now, these are people who took a reminder, but they still downloaded it. These are people who took 2 reminders and downloaded it. And these are people, we left out 1 group. So these would be people over here who submitted the form, were sent both reminders, and never downloaded it. So who are we going to follow up with? Well, number 1, we're going to follow up with these people, then these, then these. And obviously, these are your hottest leads. These are warmer. These are a little cooler. But these are still people who eventually downloaded it. These people here did not download it. So for people who downloaded immediately, we might pick up the phone and call them. Or we might send up another automation that says 7 days later, hey, such and such, you downloaded our book, how'd it go? And you can certainly do that with any of these, right? It doesn't matter. Once they've downloaded that book, they've completed our goal. But if you have 10 people 10 people in each of these lists, well, I certainly want to get in touch with the hot leads first to pick up the phone. These, you can still send them a follow-up, but that's going to depend on your sales process. But either way, these are people who took some nudging or not, but they still did the book. They downloaded it. Here, they did not. So these people are a lost cause, or maybe they're not. So what we might want to do is, in a month from now, let's tag these people with something. Let's say that, let's come over here, book, and we'll say they never downloaded it. Invisalign ebook, not downloaded. Okay, so now, let's say that's what we did here, right? Here's what we're gonna do. We'll do this on the fly. So if after 2 reminder emails, this person does not download the book, we're going to tag them Invisalign ebook not downloaded. Now, maybe in a month from now, we can take the people who are tagged with Invisalign ebook not downloaded and now put them in a different automation and say, hello, you downloaded, you submitted this form about a month ago. We wanted to check in because to make sure that you downloaded it, you have any questions. But either way, we're following up again. And so take a look now. If I had just looked at this form and said to ActiveCampaign or Kit or Drip, if I said, here you go, show me a list of the people who submitted the ebook form, that is a completely different list. You might get, 50 people on that list. But those are not 50 people who are ready necessarily to do business with you or who showed an interest in your product, in this case, Invisalign. I certainly don't want to start hammering these people on the list because these are people who, now that I know, are really not interested right now. And then I also don't want to focus efforts on these people who might not be as eager as these people. So that's really one of the major advantages of marketing automation, of using tags with marketing automation, is that you can get a very granular look at what people are doing, and you can do other activities based on that. So think about it. Here's one group of people, form submitted, versus this is without tags, let's say, and this is with tags. So you can see there's a tremendous amount that you could do, information within the same data that you can get just by applying tags. Last thing we're going to look at is how to use tags if we're going to do lifecycle statuses. We don't do this anymore, but we did in the past. But let's say this person now became an active client. Cool. So let's come over here. Let's just say they were leads. Let's say that we said that anybody who submitted the form actually and downloaded the book eventually is a lead. Great. So now we might want to say is, all right, let's take anybody who's marked as a lead, who has Invisalign ebook downloaded, and let's send them an email. Just so you know, here's another great bit of information. But let's say now this person became a client, an active client. So let's put them in active client, and let's actually make this person an active client. Great. But now, let's say it's a month later and we want to send these leads, we followed up with them, we didn't hear back, we want to send them some more information. We're having a $500 off special on Invisalign, whatever it might be. So we'll send that to our leads. I do not want to send that to an active client. Obviously, I'm talking as if we're a dental office because we do work for dental offices. But let's just say that the leads now that we followed up, they didn't become clients, so we want to send them an offer. So here's a coupon for X, Y, and Z. Well, I don't want to send the active client a coupon because he's already a client, or I don't want to send some kind of incentive to somebody who's already a client. So again, if we looked here and said, show me the people on the form, how am I going to know who I should send the incentive to? I'm not going to send the incentive to these people because they're not interested. So I'm going to send it to the leads that really haven't become active clients. So here I'm going to say, show me the people who have downloaded the ebook, you filter for it, who downloaded the book, who are a lead. And I'm not going to send it to anybody who has the tag active client. And so that's one way that, again, that's further filtering that you could do to be able to say, here is, just separate people out to make sure that the right people get the right message. The last thing I want to talk about is, let's say for argument's sake, that we had another form. And let's just call this out. We do dental implant work for our clients too. So let's make this implants ebook form submitted. I know I spelled that wrong, but we're not going to waste your time correcting that. Implants ebook downloaded. So let's say, all right, we'll fix it. Making me crazy. Okay. So let's say now it is, a couple of months from now, and someone comes to our website and they happen to download our implant ebook form. And over here, same thing over here. So these are people who are leads, let's say, who went cold or whatnot. But all of a sudden now, I've got a history of these people. So if I said, show me people who submitted the Invisalign form, I get a list. Show me people who submitted the implant form, I get a list. But what if I want to know who submitted the implant form and the Invisalign form? Or what if I realize, hey, this is interesting. This person never, came 6 months ago. We sent them all these reminders for Invisalign. They never downloaded it. But they did submit an ebook form for the implants. So all of a sudden, they're now back in our sphere. They're interested back on our website. So even though they didn't download any of this stuff, the fact that they submitted the form says they know about us and they're still interested, which again is a lot different amount of information than showing people who submitted the implants ebook form to download that. So I hope that gives you a good idea of what you can do with tags. What I would start, if you're brand new to tags, what I would start with is the simple example that we started with, which is if someone has an automated email, someone submits like a contact form, we tag them that the contact form is submitted. And that's the first place that I would start. We tag them contact form submitted. So we have that, and then if that person, and then maybe if you were able to get in touch with that person, whether it's on the phone or on email, then maybe you can manually tag that person with lead. And then if that person becomes an active client, you can add, active client to their pile. Or you can add if they're, not qualified, or something like that. But that's how I would start out with marketing automation to get comfortable with it. And then once you get more comfortable, then you can start working with tagged with more complex automations where you're actually using, what email is sent, so you can filter out and get a much more granular view of your users and market to them more efficiently. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe.